Oh, I've got to change the banner. I'm here. I know I'm live. Give me a second. I just feel oh, hiccup. Yeah. Halloween. I think that's wrong. I think I spelled Halloween wrong. I don't know. Okay, the banner is up. There it is. Okay. Okay, what do I have to do? I have to go on this computer and I have to do the thing. Do the thing. Why? I'm a coming. Give me a second. Give me a second. Second. Whew. I've been acidy all day. Stop it. I have no idea what that's about. Maybe I'm getting an ulcer or something. That would be typical. What's happening? That channel. Delete the last message. Paste the new message. And go. Okay, so Discord is in 4 mid. So yeah. So yeah. My shirt just doesn't like to fit right. I know this shirt is like 3 sizes too small, but whatever. It's a fun shirt. I like it. I may mute myself at some point during this live stream, but yeah. So, what's been happening is half of my vacation was ruined again, because of course it is. Basically, what happened was the first couple of days, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Got to see the piggies. Went to the cider farm. The cider farm that has like the really nice cider and the really nice tasting, and the little farm, the little farmyard animals that were there. Little. These pigs are gigantic. These pigs are huge. Really big piggies. Oh my god! I mean, if you've seen my social media, you would have seen the piggies. They're really, really cute piggies. I really like the piggies. We went back there twice. We went back there once. We went back there. We went there to see the pigs and do the whole thing with all the tasting and everything. Found some really nice gin. It didn't really taste like gin. It tasted more like vodka. It tasted more like flavored vodka. But there's like this gold spiced gin that is like really nice that Healy's make, and it's really good. It's really good stuff. But yeah, basically I tasted all of their products, and it was really nice. All of their stuff is really good, but I have like a couple of favorites. They have this cider called Rattlers, and Rattler cider, and they have a strawberry and lime cider. It's so good. So we went there, went to the beach. Beach was really cool. I I really like going to the beach. It's just that I hate actually going and coming back from the beach. You know, being on the beach is amazing. It's just that you have to go down all this winding cliff nonsense, and I hate that. I would much rather there be a steep set of stairs that is hell to go on that only takes me like a minute. You know, whereas this nonsense with the going down a big ramp, going down another big ramp, and then going down lots of little tiny ramps is just like it murders my feet. My feet, because of the incline or decline, whatever, your feet get pushed into the front of your shoes, and it really just kills your feet. It's so bad. I hate it so much. And then, of course, when you're coming up the thing, oh my God, we didn't do it. We didn't do it. We went the long way round. We went the hugely long hike way round, where basically at the very end of the beach there is a set of steps that lead to a path that lead to another path that is the cliff walk, and you basically the cliff just gets progressively taller until you're actually at the caravan park, at the holiday park. And then yeah, we're there, and that normally that's fine, but I twisted my ankle, and I've got somebody's talking to me on Discord. Why do people talk to me when I'm streaming? It's always something. Somebody always messages me when I'm streaming. I hardly get a message when I don't stream. When I'm streaming though, people want to talk to me. Talk to me in the chat. Anyway, yeah, I've got a couple of pictures from that. Somebody suggested to me that it might actually be my medication that is causing some kind of like tendon weakness or something, because I don't get it. Ever since I have started my new set of meds for my blood pressure and for my depression, but also they're good for stabilizing your heartbeat and stuff. Ever since I started taking these meds, I keep getting twisted ankles. But I've not done any more or less walking than usual. And I never used to get twisted ankles. Or am I just getting old? Is that just an old thing? But yeah, basically I jumped the very first day, like a dingus, I decided to go explore the caravan park just to see what's new, to explore the immediate area around our chalet. And there's this big dune hill that's right behind our chalet. And I wanted to go to the top of it to see if we got any good signal up there for our phones. And yeah, I'm getting old. I mean, like, it really doesn't show on camera. It really doesn't. My muzzle is very salt and pepper. It doesn't show. It's so weird. It's so weird. But yeah. Is there something on my hat? Ew. There's something on my hat. So it's shining on my hat. I'm not going to touch it there. Gross. I really hope I didn't sneeze on it or something. That's gross. I got snot on my hat. Whatever. Or something. I don't know. It might be jam. Who knows? Yeah. So there's this big dune behind our chalet. Went up the dune. Walked around the dune a couple of times. When I was walking back to the chalet, I walked up the dune, came down, and there's this one big step, really big step. It's about this big, this wide, this tall, and you basically have to kind of almost jump off of it. And like a dingus, with my bad leg, I decided to put my bad leg forward so that of course all of my weight would be transferred onto that as I jumped off of the step. And I heard a weird clicking sound, and then I felt a kind of like almost like a rubber band around my ankle that snapped off or something, and it just felt very weak. And I was like, "What the fuck? No." On the first day, nah, I can't have. On this basically walking holiday, nah, nah. I'm just gonna ignore it. It's a bit weak. It doesn't mean it's twisted or broken or whatever. Went into the chalet, cooked some foods, and then tried to ignore it. And then as I sat down, it really hurt, and I was like, "Fuck." So yeah, most of the walking around part of the holiday, I had a twisted ankle. But I'm a big boy. I basically I've experienced way worse pain in my legs. A lot of people will tell you if you've had like a really severe like leg injury when you're either a formating adult or when you are actually an adult, that caused you a lot of pain, then you'll whine less about it when you're an adult if you basically have a similar injury or a lesser injury that still causes you pain. And yeah, I can say this is true because, of course, you guys know I had a huge accident. Like when I was like, I can remember when this was the other day, when I was like 17, 18. I don't think it was 19, but it might even have been 19. But yeah, I had a serious accident when I was late teens, and basically had super pain in my legs for a whole month. It became lesser after that, but I had like mega pain in my legs. My legs have basically fallen off, and it hurt a lot. That's what it felt like. You know, it was this weird kind of like not stabby pain, not really dull pain. It's as if my legs had fallen off, but it hurts. You know, you might not know, but yeah. Anyway, so ever since then, I've had a couple of leg injuries. For example, I was swimming in a swimming pool, and I kicked off of the wall once, but my foot hit the top of the pool wall. I kind of like it whacked it really hard, went into the water, then I pushed off anyway. You know. So yeah, I kept swimming, and then as I was getting out of the water supports you. You could have a really badly broken something when you're when you're swimming. You could accidentally break your fucking arm, and it only hurt if you move your arm a bit. But water weirdly supports broken bones because the second that your foot or hand or whatever is broken is not submerged in the water again, and gravity kicks in, you're like, holy fuck, why? But yeah, I mean, I was walking on that thing. I walked to the fucking hospital. I mean, I got on a bus, and then I got off of the bus, and then I walked to the hospital. But like, I went to the hospital, and they were basically like, "Yeah, your foot's broken. Here's some really tight shoes. We don't want to put a cast on it." I was like, "Thanks." Like, yeah. So I wore those shoes. Came back a month later, and they were like, "Yep, yeah, good." Whatever. Anyway, yeah, this might be a thing because the times when I've twisted my ankle recently, Manchester, Newcastle, again Newcastle, and then there was one other time, at least one other time, and I can't remember when that was, but yeah, I just walked it off, but my ankle swelled up. It was clearly twisted, maybe even possibly broken from the first time. Who knows? But yeah, I kind of walked it off. I mean, I didn't really complain about it. I was just more like, you know, every other step I was like, and I couldn't talk whilst I was walking. So yeah, But this is Cornwall. It's hilly. There are just casual. You don't even think they don't even think of them as hikes. But you're going to the car sometimes can be a fucking hike, because your car will be parked on like this really steep incline that you just have no idea how your brakes work to keep your car from rolling down into the doom of where it is, and that in itself is just a nightmare. But yeah, fucking Cornwall. So yeah, that didn't bother me. What bothered me more was the fact that I got a fucking cold on like the third day, because I only got to go to the beach, and then I got to go to the cider farm, and then we went to and then we went to the beach again, and I started to feel like I had a cold, like I had a mini cold. Like I felt as sick as I feel right now, because I'm kind of over the cold, but this nostril in particular loves to just randomly get blocked up and then dump all its crap into the back of my throat every now and again. Because my lungs are fine, my throat is fine, no noise, no extra noises, no extra wheezing, nothing. But every now and again, just in the back of my throat. Not even all the way at the back of my throat. I feel it like down here, and then I have to go for a long time, which is fun. But yeah, I had a mini cold, and I was like, it's a mini cold, it's to be expected. Every time we come to this particular holiday park, one of us gets sick, sometimes severely, sometimes not rarely. And I was like, this feels like a not rarely. I'll be fine. So we went to visit a mine, a tin mine, because they're all over Cornwall. But this one's a working tin mine still. And basically we went, there was a lot more walking, but it was raining the whole time. And the museum parts of the mine are all indoors, but they're separate buildings. So you got like the tooler sheds, the actual processing part, and you've got like, and it's all on a big hill. It's all on a hill. It's in Cornwall. Everything's on a hill. Okay, it's a mine shaft in Cornwall. It's going to be on a hill. But yeah, you had like the compression room, the motor room, and then you had like the processing room, all of that stuff. All of these individual buildings are outside. They're individual buildings. It's okay. I'm still telling you guys about the thing. I did come on early-ish to basically so that I could talk a lot, because I am going to go through the entire trip. So yeah, they're in individual buildings. It's raining a lot, and I, for some reason, forgot my fucking raincoat. So I'm in my red hoodie, which is not waterproof. So yeah, we're going from building to building, and I've got a cold. And in this one particular building, in the last building that we go to, it's there's a lot of stairs. There's a lot of narrow corridors and walkways and stuff. I didn't fit in one of the walkways. I'm so glad I actually had the opportunity to use my physiotherapy skills. The balance bar kind of things either side. What are they called? The two parallel bars. Are they just called parallel bars? Those things? Well, I remember these from physio. From physiotherapy, from recovery, from rehabilitation, whatever you want to call it. And basically, because I didn't fit, I had to basically hoist my legs up, so that my hips and my tummy were over these walkway railings, and I kind of walked along the thing, including the stairs. But yeah, I mean, I think there's at least one picture. Where you can see what I'm talking about. Let me get it up. Um, yeah, there I am. You have to wear helmets and stuff as well. But that's a wider walkway, and that's in the processing plant. And you can see it's just, yeah. You can even see that like my leg is slightly off. But yeah, they made you wear helmets. But yeah, there I am in my red hoodie. And it was just like, yeah. Oh my god. So yeah, this place. We got to the part where they will actually take you to an underground part of the mine. They'll actually take you underground. And by this point, I was like, I've seen the hill that I have to climb to get back to the gift shop. This is the last part of it, and I haven't left Damon and his friend alone, his pup alone for this entire trip, and I usually do at least a little bit, give them some space. Um, so I was like, I don't think I want to go through a bunch of steps and go underground and potentially get stuck in an underground place with a twisted ankle. I think I'm going to be okay if I just kind of like walked back. You can have the guided tour and all that stuff. I'll go do that. You know, I'll meet you in the gift shop. I'll meet you in the cafeteria, wherever is up that hill. You know. It was all outdoors up a very steep hill in the rain. It really pelted me. It was really annoying afterwards because I was in the gift shop and I just started to dry off, and then I see them coming through the door, and they weren't nearly as wet, and I was like, oh, you bastards, you missed it. You missed the big rainy bit, you assholes. So yeah, if you got a cold, if you got a tiny bit of a cold that you think will probably pass within a couple of hours, don't go to a fucking hill, a mountain, and try to walk up it in the rain without a umbrella or a raincoat or something. Just don't do it. But I was a dingus, so I did that. And then, of course, the next day, sick. Like properly fluey cold, like sick. Like shivering, hot and cold, don't know exactly what when I'm supposed to be sleeping, even when I'm supposed to be sleeping. Just coughing, sneezing, all of that super extra gunk everywhere inside me. I didn't like puke or anything anywhere. Super sick for 2 days, and then I was starting to recover, and I'm still not 100%, but I'm still recovering. Like I said, I'm clearing out all of the gunk that happened to me. Still, it feels just like I had COVID again, but that's impossible. So this must just be a cold thing. But apparently, I was talking to a few friends. The times when I could get signal on my phone, I was talking to a few friends, and basically, they were saying that it's like, oh yeah, you caught the bug here. There's a big bug going around, especially in Cornwall area. I was like, oh, good. So yeah, fun. I feel like we did something else. I'm trying to remember. Oh my god, I'm trying to remember what the fuck. I think that was it, but I think they did other stuff. They went other places and did stuff because I didn't want to ruin their holiday. So I basically stayed in the chalet, and I was trying to draw, but I couldn't draw that much because I was sick. I didn't have any reference tools. I couldn't always wear my glasses because I had watery eyes, so I couldn't wear my glasses all the time. So my drawings were way not up to scratch. I kind of sucked so much, especially since I put them on a computer now. I can see them. You know, they're not just little tiny images on my screen. They're not just these. They're actually like on my computer, and I can see them. And I sometimes wear my glasses, and oh my god. So yeah, I drew a couple of maps as well, but I didn't upload those because they're easy to do. So yeah, maps are easy. You know, chairs are hard, but I got all of the chairs done. I feel like I half-assed the last couple, but that's basically because I was at my mother-in-law's. So yeah, it was like, oh, I don't really like. I want to get these done before I go home and stuff. Maps are hard. They're not. It kind of depends what map you're doing and what style and all that stuff. Well, yeah, I know, but you were doing a specific kind of like story-based map, you know. But like the things that I do is like I do big pictures, you know, the like entire planet maps and stuff like that. Like if you're just doing a topological map, then it's really easy. It's really easy. Although you have to remember how many lines are around like certain like mountains and hills and stuff. Otherwise, it's very hard to add extra bars onto those. They're not really lines. They're called bars or something. I don't know. But yeah. But if you're doing like cities and buildings and stuff, those are hard. Well, they're not hard. They just take a long time. You know, they do take a long time. At least to me. Just this is my experience. Okay, I'm not saying that they're not difficult for everybody. I'm just saying that basically, like, I find doing maps to be very easy, depending on and it just that the time that it takes to actually do them. It depends on what kind of map it is. You know, I love doing floor plans for buildings and designing buildings. I love that. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to be an architect. That was like my first career choice. Second career choice, I wanted to be a lifeguard, and that sucks. But then, but then architecture. I wanted to do architecture. It was so good. I love doing that. Like I've done the houses, the homes for my personas, and also I've done the floor layout for De Futterhund, or whatever you want to call the club 5 owns and stuff. And I was considering doing on the Rulers Club sketch page just to fill in some of the gaps, because I was like, I don't know what to draw here. I don't know what to draw here. I don't know what to draw here. But I was like, I could just draw the building and the floor plan and stuff, maybe for that. But I think I might do that if somebody basically is actually interested in it. I don't know. You've got the floor plans for all of those places. I just realized you have got your hard drive. Yeah, that happened. I got a random message from you basically saying while I was sick. So it's like I got the hard drive and I was like, yeah, I'd be more excited if I wasn't dying. But yeah. Hard means tedious for maps. I would say tedious. Like something can be easy, but it can be incredibly tedious. You know? I don't know. Could you make me a floor plan of a mansion for I won't have to attempt? What? I don't know what that means. I can make you a floor plan for a mansion. You have to tell me what it's for. you know, who it's for. Is it like a family thing or whatever? And also, like a modern mansion is completely different to a mansion, even 50 years ago, is completely different. So yeah, you don't have to make floor plans. What people don't realize when they're making floor plans is corridors. I've noticed this, especially fucking children. They don't get what corridors are when they draw the like a map of of buildings and stuff. They forget that corridors exist, even if it's an existing building. You know. Oh shit. I have to hack. Let me just mute myself just one sec. Nope, that was just all my nose being shit. I didn't actually have to cough that hard. My abs inside my belly. Um, I have big, strong muscles, and oh my god, they get worked out. You know, when you cough, every time you cough, you kind of use your belly muscle. And oh my god, I thought I had a hernia at one stage, but then I realized it's symmetrical. Okay, you know, it's like it's just one of my ab muscles. It's really, really strong. Anyway, yeah, kids don't really think about corridors or like where doors are going to go. They separate the rooms out almost chronologically of what rooms they've been in recently, if it's an existing building, or in order of what rooms they're thinking of. Like for example, if they're drawing a floor plan of a house that they want in the future, they want a house. So they draw a floor plan of a house. They draw they draw a couple of boxes, and upstairs and downstairs, and then they basically are like I want a big living room. I want a huge living room, and maybe even a dining room. I don't know, with a big table. It looks really cool. It's like going to be an Arthur's table in the dining room. It's going to be awesome. And that filled up all that space. Awesome. Then upstairs, I want this bedroom, and I want the master bedroom, and I want the bathroom. I mean, it has to go somewhere, sure. And then I've got a bit of space. Oh, I haven't done the kitchen. I'll put the kitchen there. And it's like, it's not really good planning, is it though? But I mean, they're kids, so yeah, they put it in they prioritize rooms that they want the most, you know. And then they basically, when it comes to the later parts of the design, they'll add on the extra stuff, usually in spaces that they just haven't thought of. And it's like, yeah, I get it, yeah. And some older adults do this too. But yeah, I love doing floor plans for stuff. It's like really nice, cool, interesting, and yeah, it's really good if you've got the outside of the building. Also, if you basically know what the outside of the building looks like, then I would do it. I would do a floor plan. For example, I've actually lived in a lighthouse. I've lived in the house that's next to the actual lighthouse, but it was attached to the lighthouse anyway. And as an adult, I could draw this out, but I had a very idealistic way of how it looked, because I was very young when we lived in this building. And it's like, it would be cool if this did this. I'm just going to do it, whatever. No one cares anymore, you know? I used to love The Sims, the original Sims, before it got super overcomplicated with everything all the time, everywhere. I fucking hate that now. I should just try and build a house in The Sims to see how it goes. I was just saying that. I did not read that beforehand. Oh my god. I mean, yeah, just like the original. If you got The Sims, just The Sims, not any of the expansions or anything. Besides, can you get like there was like a Sims anniversary edition before the Sims 2 happened? I swear there was, because I swear I had it. Because I love The Sims. I got all of the expansions, the vacation, the pets, everything. Oh, I love The Sims so much. But yeah, one of the cool things that you could do with The Sims is that you could basically, you built buildings, and you even edited existing buildings, and they're really cool. It was so much fun. I spent fucking hours on that thing. One time I made this maze, but it was perfectly functional as a house, but it had a maze inside of it. Just so that I could watch The Sims, watch the computer try to figure out the fastest route to items. Like the kitchen had a maze to all of the items. All the dead ends had like a microwave, a cooker, the fridge, even the dining room table was somewhere in the middle. It was just kind of fun. It was fun. Anyway, yeah. I have Sims 4, but I can't just pirate the old one. I can just pirate the old ones. I found that I tried to do that. Like, at least, I think it was at the start of the pandemic. I tried to do that. Just when I thought I was first going crazy. And it kind of worked, but then it kind of crashed. But was that on my old computer? How long have I had the Omen for? I don't know how long I've had that for. I don't know. I love that, but that is such a time suck. If I played it now, I would just it would be worse than Age of Mythology. I would just not be able to get off of it. Although there is a reason why I'm playing Age of Mythology, so I don't know if I should. I was going to ask you. It's like, oh, can you send it to me? Can you send it to me the link of where to get it from and stuff like that? But then I was like, don't do that. Don't do that. Maybe don't. I can't find your floor plans on there. Oh, that you found them. Okay. But for the individual ones, I think like Boldar's, the bear, he lives in a cave. 5 has an apartment kind of like in the Hyperion, the hotel that is above De Futterhund. And Pop lives in a trailer behind Itchy's house that has its own garden and stuff. So yeah, they're super basic. They're like done on my little notepad. Like here's a ready little notepad. So yeah. Oh my god, I remember being in school and like telling my friend that he could totally borrow my copy of House Party, but he has to give it back within a month because I'm going to get another expansion, and it likes to refresh all the expansions every time you get a new expansion for the Sims, the original Sims. And he never did. But fortunately, my computer, for a weird tweak, didn't actually need to be refreshed with any of that stuff. It was like it still worked with the latest version anyway, so I didn't have to worry too much about putting in extra discs or anything. It was like, so good. So I wasn't too pissed at him. I mean, I was still pissed, but I didn't hold on to it, Anyway, yes, I had no reference art, no glasses, for at least the beginning parts of these pictures, and I think I still did an okay job. I think you can tell the last couple of pictures that I uploaded on the server. I think you can tell they're a bit, and on Twitter didn't work. Even when I had Wi-Fi, Twitter didn't work. It took forever to upload anything. I have no idea what that was about. And it did it in the wrong order. Ugh. Anyway, yeah, you can kind of tell, and they're all tiny as well. Like these pictures are all Like they're all tiny. You might not be able to tell from the way they look, but they're all tiny. And when I scan them on, I've got a new scanning app on my phone now. And when you scan it using this app, it's really good for photographs. It's not so good for drawings because it ups the contrast and the sharpness way too much, so it gets all the graininess of the paper and everything. Just fine, but yeah. I miss my old scanning app on my iPhone. That you can adjust shit. You can in the picture editing feature, but it's not the same. It's not the same. But yeah, do you like those really, really sketchy floor plans on the lined paper? The Vetterhund is a better floor plan because it's sort of 3D. It's isometric. You know, they made it kind of isometric. But yeah, I didn't put corridors in it because it's kind of like supposed to be this big saloon, old-timey saloon layout. And they didn't really have corridors. What they did instead was they had like balconies and stairways and stairways that led to other balconies instead. That's what they used to do in the old saloon kind of building. So I did that instead. To enjoy yourself back in Sims. Again, if I do that, I will be trapped. I will be trapped in a room with no doors. Anyway, yes. If I know what the outside of the house is supposed to look like, then I can do a sketch of the outside of the house, or mansion, whatever, and then I can basically like work from that of what it's supposed to look like inside as well. Again, this is what I used to think architects did, but no, there's a lot of paperwork involved. It's not fun. It's not as fun as you think it is. I basically used to think that, okay, architects used to deal with like the design of the building and then the floor layout based on what their design looks like, and then they used to and then they would work with the structural engineers to figure out exactly how it would support itself and loads and all of that stuff and do all of those calculations, and then you'd build a little model of it either on the computer, because I'm not that old. You know, I realized that making models of buildings is kind of like an old way of demonstrating to clients and to like construction companies what the finished building is supposed to look like and stuff. But yeah, then you'd make the model and it looks really cool and you get to keep the model, and then yeah, your job's done. But no, it's so much paperwork and planning and doing the site. You know, you only go to the site to do the measurements and the surveying, and then like feasibility. So much feasibility tests. Oh my god, the bureaucracy is just it's over the top. I don't want to stop people from being architects, but I just feel like the big important architects that you hear about, they didn't actually get into architecture by studying architecture, you know, by being architects, by going to college and university to become architects. They became famous architects because they wanted to build a building. They were artists that wanted to build a building, make a funky, cool design, and they worked with other architects and structural engineers, and then they basically got all the credit from their design. You know? And then they became architects that way. It's so uncool that they say you can be an architect. And it's like, yeah, if you want to do nothing but industrial and commercial shit, go for it. But yeah. Anyway, oh my god, yeah, so I did a bunch of drawing, pages and pages, in just pencil, because every time I did something, I've lost pen confidence. I've lost pen confidence. Because every time I drew something, I was like, okay, now I do the inking. I do the ink layer. And I was like, if I do the ink layer, then I could ruin this picture. I'll think about it while I'm drawing the next thing. And I just never did the inking for any of them, because I thought it would be bad. But I think they look okay. I've had good feedback so far from the pictures that I have done. So yeah, that's nice. I'm still really pissed about not colouring in the trousers, by the way, Roscoe. I'm so sorry. That is bugging me still. I mean, it's not bugging me a lot because I can still go back and colour them in and then, do another scan of it and stuff. But no. Yeah. So we came back to my mother-in-law's to do the Canal Day, the Canal Festival, the 2-day Canal Festival. We didn't go on the Saturday. We didn't go on the first day of the Canal Festival because Damon started to feel sick and is now currently ill. But he's in bed, so yeah. Otherwise, I'd be looking after him. So yeah. So we didn't go on the Saturday, and on the Sunday, they went, but I didn't go because I was tired, and I didn't want to walk around and just be continuously hacking up a bunch of nose gunk, or blow my nose constantly. Oh my god. Oh, it's a nightmare. I'm just doing life is a nightmare. Yeah. So I didn't get to do that. And then I found out that it's another weekend on weekend thing happening. Can I please just get a couple of weekends? Well, can I just space everything out, please? I'm so tired of this bullshit. Because this keeps happening. A bunch of weekends where I'm not free at all. I'm doing shit. Of course, we just had 2 weekends where I was on vacation. When one of those weekends I was sick anyway, so yeah, that's fun. Got this weekend where I'm going to a pup Halloween party, a puppy and / furry Halloween party in Southampton. So that's all weekend we're going to be there. So that's fun. And then I've got the next weekend I'm either visiting my mother, or I have to go away on business to find out if I've got a job or something. So that's fun. And that's either happening that weekend or the weekend after. But the weekend where I might be free, which is not going to be free, I'll have to go to my mother-in-law's birthday party, and then the weekend after that, it's Damon's birthday party. So not cool, bad. But then the weekend after that, it's bonfire night in the UK, where we set fire to everything. It's and fireworks happen and everything. Then it's all the Christmas stuff. So yeah. Cody says, "Hey Tub, my name is Cody, and I love all your videos." Haven't you said something already before, Cody? I feel like you have. Didn't we have a Cody here before? What's the name of that guy that had a bunch of cat, like a cartoon cat, like a specific cartoon cat? Who was that? I cannot remember his name. Anyway, pup/furry Halloween party sounds fun. It's going to be fun. I've got my costume sorted out. I'm going as the inflatable pumpkin with the moving mouth dog head on. And hopefully I won't die from heat exhaustion. But yeah, pumpkin dog. I mentioned this idea to one of my friends that's going, and basically he said that it's like, oh my god, that sounds so awesome! I can't wait to see that. But the more I think about it, the more I think this doesn't really go together. This sounds kind of dumb, but okay. Sounds like fun. I'm going to be watching Chucky. Okay. So I don't like horror movies. Not because I'm scared of them. It's because they're stupid. Because they're fucking stupid. It's like, even the ones that try to be smart. Do you guys remember? Oh my god! I just had a brainwave. Ben is glory. A Ben is glory moment. Nobody's gonna get that unless they watch Buffy. Is the woman from Scream the main woman, the main actress from Scream, from the first Scream and the second Scream and the third Scream? They all have Sydney in them, right? The one who plays Sydney. Was she in a film called Three to Tango? Was that her? That's going to drive me nuts. I could look it up, but my brain really needs to make this connection by itself, I think. Or somebody should just tell me, I guess. I don't know. Well, no, people shouldn't just tell you stuff. When your brain is struggling to find a connection, it's like, oh, what's the name of that song? It's apparently it's bad for your brain if somebody just tells you the answer, because then your brain doesn't reinforce that connection. If you already knew it, it basically forgets that connection, makes a new one based on the memory that you just got. They think that's also one of the reasons why now people don't remember directions and phone numbers and stuff like that. It's because it's already pre-programmed into our phones. So whenever we need information, we'll just look it up. But yeah, apparently human brain memory power is shit, and it's gotten worse because of this or something. I don't know. Anyway, like in the Scream movies, they try to make it like, oh, it's smart, it's clever. There's a twist, all that stuff. And it's like, no, there isn't. No one really cares. No one really cares about the story. They just want to see people die in sometimes interesting ways. Like I like good concepts, but once the concept is done, the sequels become a bit irritating. It's like, it's a good concept, but you've kind of used this concept already. We know the rules of the concept. It's kind of like, yeah. For example, the Final Destination movies, like the concept is fascinating. Somebody gets a random premonition dream or whatever, and then basically a bunch of people survive what would have been a certain death situation, and then death comes for these people because they didn't die in the manner and or order that they were supposed to die. And it's like, okay. Okay. It's like interesting concept, but when you're actually seeing it, it's kind of a bit shit. Because you kind of like at one stage, I thought they were going to have the balls to basically just put death in. Like, it is interesting watching these what is it called, a Goldberg machine, a breakfast machine, whatever. Like how they set it up so that things knock over certain other things, and then turn on things, and that then will eventually kill a person. And it's like, yeah, that's funny. But at one stage, I swear to God, I thought they were just gonna have the balls to have like death just basically walk up to somebody and shoot them in the head. I swear to God, I saw it coming. I can't remember which one it was, but there was like some guy is walking, it just has shots of his legs, and he's wearing like proper trousers, proper pants for a suit. And I was like, we're gonna see death. It's actually gonna happen. He's tired of this shit, you know. But no, it was just an artsy shot. It wasn't actually. It was, yeah. But yeah, horror movies kind of just are like, you know. To me, they're just kind of stupid. They are just kind of stupid. I will say that basically in the Final Destination movies, the poor researchers, they have to look up the stuff. I feel really bad for them. You know, because like yes, some of the deaths are creative and stuff, and some of them interesting, even. They're all bad, of course, but it's like they'll have to look up this stuff. You know, like in the researchers, for the people who have to research what happens to people to make it look good on a movie, to make it look realistic and stuff. They have to research, you know, like this will be on their search engines, stuff like gas toxicity and what it does to the human body. What happens if you actually did get caught in an escalator? How much force would it cause to make a barbecue explode, to actually kill a person, to basically completely pulverize them? Stuff like that. That'll be on their search history. I feel bad for these researchers that have to look up this stuff. You know, most realistic strangulation pictures, stuff like this. Ouch. You know, it's just bad. It's just, oh. So, you know, I mentally picture everything. So I just did a bunch of those in my brain. You know. Hey, Panafox. Yeah, Panafox threw a curveball at me. I mean, I had no internet at the time, but the fact that I didn't know when I would get internet back was kind of like a bit of a. I was checking my internet at a restaurant. I was actually, you know, the one time that I could actually we went to a restaurant, it had Wi-Fi, checking my messages. Panafox said he was going off of social media. And I was like, really, dude? The one time when I can actually see my messages, it's somebody doing that. That's not cool. But yeah, it's okay. You're loud. No. Scientists, how much blood will a tree log do to a human face? What? Well, I'm just not gonna. Yeah, I'm just that one's pretty easy. It's like if a tree log gets smashed through a windscreen, would it explode ahead? Yes, it would. Fucking duh, you know. Your mental imagination has increased like crazy since getting the Tubbs drive. Final Destination 2, the premonition. They're called the premonition. I was curious as to what exactly my former best friend, she's still my friend, she's still a good friend, but my high school best friend basically asked me at one point within the past 5 years, she asked me like, oh, what is the order? Because I apparently had like when I was in college, I basically was talking to her about the Final Destination movies and saying how they were basically designed to try to make people scared of everything. First one's flying, second one's just driving. Or is that the roller coaster one? I think that's the roller coaster one. Second one's roller coasters. Like third one is driving, I think. Yeah. I think. I'm not going to do them in any order now. I'm just going to say which ones I remember seeing. But then they try to get you scared of like the movies and shopping centers. So just going outside. Then it's sort of driving again because it's sports cars and sports racing, like at a NASCAR event or something. And then isn't it the last one is bridges? Just suspension bridges are bad apparently. Like one thing can go wrong on those, and it will all fall down. No, it won't. No, it won't. It had to be a big something. I know that the bridge one is a prequel. I don't remember how I know, but yeah. I feel like I'm missing one, but yeah. Basically, I used to be able to say every single one in order to her because she used to find it funny how I basically was right that they are just trying to make you scared of everything. Excuse me. I have to mute. It wasn't anything again. It was stupid. It was just my nose being stupid because I coughed twice and nothing happened. Yeah. I thought I could feel something moving, my nose emptying itself to the back of my throat, but it was nothing. Anyway, yeah, how they were trying to stop everybody from going to places and doing things because you might end up in a Final Destination premonition. But yeah, I watched some of them. I watched them recently because I was curious as to which like how many there were. I couldn't remember how many there were, and I used to like kind of the premonitions scenes basically because they are crazy. They're just crazy, and some of them are really. I remember the NASCAR one, the sports car one. I remember that one being just out of this world bonkers. With how bad it was, and also, how bad the effects were, but also just how lazy the deaths were. By the time they got back to the bridge, at least those were interesting deaths and kind of funny. But the NASCAR one, it's just a bunch of people getting either impaled or just getting just straight up like whacked in the face or chest or shoulder or something, or being crushed by something. It's just kind of, they're all very kind of like bleh, or being trampled, but I guess that's crushed as well, so I don't know. Like, they're not very creative. Although you could argue the same thing with the first one, with the plane. Everybody kind of gets just sucked out of the plane. Or they get caught on fire when it explodes. It's not really that exciting, I guess. I don't know. Am I unmuted? Yes, I am. Good. So, yeah. But yeah, they start getting a bit more creative after the first one, but then they go less creative again with anyway. Yeah. Horror movies are dumb. Has anyone seen the movie Free to Tango? Who plays Chandler from Friends? Who is that? My brain keeps saying it's like, that's Matthew Perry, and it's like, is that Matthew Perry? Is that somebody else? Never heard of it. Free to Tango is a movie that's set in. It's a comedy. It's a movie set in Chicago, and it's basically. Is it a really early 90s movie, or is it a late 90s movie? But it may or may not have the woman who plays Sydney from Scream as this woman who's an artist who is kind of the mistress of this big, powerful CEO who wants to build a building, and Matthew Perry, I don't think that's his name, Chandler from Friends, and Oliver Platt, semi-famous actor, Oliver something, are architects, and they want to build a building, and they will get the building contract if Matthew Perry, I'm pretty sure that's his name now, I'm going to just call him Chandler from Friends, will keep an eye out and be this artist lady's friend, so that nobody else like sleeps with her or like goes out with her, because he's very possessive of her. And he agrees to do this because he thinks that Matthew Perry, Chandler from Friends, is gay. That's the whole premise of the movie. It's called Three to Tango. It's actually kind of cool. I kind of like it. I don't know why. I think it's one of those movies that basically, you know how when you're growing up and you basically like, you know how when you're a kid, you kind of like laugh at adult comedy movies, but you don't really get it. You're just laughing because everybody else laughs, but you don't really get it. You need somebody to explain the joke to you or something. Well, there will be a certain movie that basically nobody has to explain any of the jokes to you because you get it, because it's all funny to you. All of it is funny to you. Every single joke hits. They're all really good, and you get it. You kind of almost feel like you're a proper adult once you see it. Well, that's what that movie was to me. Three to Tango. Really good movie. Got it on DVD somewhere. It's really good. I think it's funny. But yeah, it's a romantic comedy, obviously, and yeah. Nobody cares. Anyway, the woman who plays the main actress in that movie, I'm pretty sure that's Sydney, and I've just got it. I've just got it in my head that that's Sydney from Scream, from the original Scream movies. You know, the main woman from that. I'm pretty sure that's her. But it's only just kind of hit me in the No, I was just listening. I have no thoughts about it. So I go watch it. It's funny. I'm pretty sure his name is Matthew Perry. I need to reinforce this memory I've got that his name is Matthew Perry. I'm going to play the trailer for it, and then we're going to wrap up, I think. Three. $19.99. Oh, advert. Yeah, super low tech.
This is the story of three people. The boss.
Can I be honest with you? I'm married. I also have a girlfriend.
His mistress.
I'd like you to stay close to her. Tell me who she talks to, that sort of thing.
The sucker who took the job.
It was awful. As soon as we left the gallery, she elbowed me in the face. Then we both threw up. That just doesn't get better than this.
You've been smacked around by the boss's girl. You've fallen madly in love with her. Now, how can things get any worse than that?
Champagne, music, Amy in a kimono. I swear, if you weren't gay, Oscar, I'd have to kill you. Gay? Everybody thinks I'm gay. Gay? Super gay? Okay, yeah. Time to go. Yeah, we should get going.
Matthew Perry.
Mom, you're not listening. I'm not gay. Dad must be going nuts.
Neve Campbell.
Men have these stupid fantasies about two women together.
Neve Campbell?
Garter belts and push-up bras and high heels. This
Neve
must be so
Campbell.
boring for you.
No, I mean, it's not that boring.
Dylan McDermott.
Will someone like to tell me what Amy is doing talking to my wife?
And Oliver Platt.
You made your big gay bed, and you must now slumber gaily in it.
In a story of finding true love
You're okay company, as long as you're not beating the hell out of me.
where you least expect it.
Have you ever kissed a woman before?
Not the right one.
3 to tango.
Actually, I had a lesbian experience once.
You idiot.
But yeah, hopefully that came through okay. I wasn't going to do for just that. I wasn't going to do the whole, screen share bullshit for that. But yeah, it's so 90s. It's weird because it's the late 90s, so it should be like early zeros, but whatever. It came through just fine. Yeah, good. Okay. But yeah. It is Matthew Perry, by the way. Jesus. That was driving me crazy. I knew it. Why is his ear being itchy? Just out of nowhere. But yeah, it's like it's one of my favorite romantic comedies. It's only for that reason. Only for that reason that it's the first one that I basically had. I got all the jokes, I genuinely laughed at it. The premise is quite funny. And I used to be an Oliver Platt fan. Oliver Platt. Yeah, I used to be an Oliver Platt fan because whatever he was in, he was always the funny arsehole. Even in this, he's kind of the funny arsehole, you know. I mean, he was in Bicentennial Man as like the main doctor scientist in robotics. It's kind of funny in that. But yeah, he's always he's at the very least kind of funny in things. And at the best, he's always the like sarcastic, funny arsehole. So yeah, I used to like him because he was those things. But yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, there are actually a lot of actors in that I've seen all over the place now. Oh my god, Dr. Cox is in that. The guy who played Dr. Cox in Scrubs. Oh my god. Also the woman from Lucifer is in that as well. The therapist lady. I used to really like her in Lucifer. I thought she was funny. Oh, I'm also ending Smallville. I'm on the end of Smallville, and oh my god, I forgot that I had this feeling about Smallville ending, because you kind of just want to see it keep going. Like, not because it's good, because it is kind of good if you can ignore the annoying continuous music all the time, and how people move on so quickly from just situations that have happened to them. Yeah, like one episode, like it'll be a super life and death situation, and people will be dealing with suicide, and then the next one, the next episode, like nobody cares. We're dealing with anything. So yeah, I have to rewatch it. Go rewatch Lucifer. The mythology of Lucifer that he lays out is fascinatingly good. Like, it's really good. It's odd how much they get right about like the mythology of Christian mythology. It's fascinatingly good. Yeah. Except for angels aren't actually, they're not supposed to be depicted as people, but what are you going to do? It's a whole big thing. Anyway. And I can't give away stuff as well. That is so annoying. I can't give away stuff. I mean, have you seen all of Lucifer all the way through? Oh my god, Tom Welling's in that. That I was watching when I was watching that season or those seasons of Lucifer, where there's this one guy who looks oddly familiar, and I had no idea where the fuck he was from. It was just so annoying because it was annoying enough to not make me look it up, but just bug me. Just something in the scene is bugging me. What is it? Oh yeah, I don't know who that guy is, but I know that guy, but I don't know who he is. I've seen him in something, but I couldn't figure out who the fuck that is. And then basically, I was watching it on Prime, and I still hadn't figured it out. And I was watching it on Prime, and you know how sometimes when you pause, Amazon Prime, you sometimes pause something, and it gives you that X-ray thing where it tells you who's on screen, like the actors' names and stuff. And it was like Tom Welling. Wait, why don't I know Tom Welling? No. No. But he's got a buzz cut. It can't be. That's Tom Welling? As an adult? That's messed up. That's non-Superman Tom Welling? What the fuck? He looks weird now. He just looks weird. There was like a scene of him on the Kent farm as an adult, and he's kind of got like the high and tight haircut or something. They could have just he could have looked almost exactly like he used to. Is the weird thing. Literally just grow your hair out a little bit and style it in the way that you did in Smallville. But no, he's got like this high and tight haircut, and it makes him look so much chunkier in the shoulders. It's so weird. It's like when I have a haircut, basically like these parts of me look way bigger. It's like, what the fuck, man? But yeah, Tom Welling's in Smallville. I mean, duh, he is in Smallville. But yeah, he's also in Lucifer for a couple of seasons. Well, yeah, it does. I know it does. I know it does. I was trying to draw a tiny picture of you, but the depiction of you on that picture, the last picture that I sent you, it's supposed to be you, but I wasn't wearing glasses, and the actual depiction of you is like this big. The actual depiction of your face is like this big. So forgive me, but it looks weird and freaky to me. It doesn't look right. I don't know why, but it was so, yeah. I will never see Smallville, but it's nice to see you amused by it. Oh my god, these publicity shots of Tom Welling. Jesus. I'm trying to get a good hair picture of him. He is so different. He's such a different person in all of these pictures. In all of these pictures, this is the same guy. How is that possible? Yeah, Smallville haircut. The Smallville haircut. Very Christopher Reeve. Like pre-Smallville haircut. More like what he looks like right now. And for some reason, Dad Tom Welling. What the fuck is with that? What is going on there? All the same guy. No wonder I couldn't figure out who the fuck that was. Oh yeah, this is how he appears in that thing. You have to remember that Smallville was like 20 years ago. Like if he just grew his hair out. Oh, for fuck's sake. There we go. If he just grew his hair out a little bit, he'd look exactly the same as he that's him in that thing that I was talking about. Smallville, but 15 years later, 20 years later. And if he just grew his hair out a little bit more, he would look exactly the fucking same. Oh my god, that's from his... Yeah. I mean, this is an exaggerated image, okay? This is exaggerated because this is like the first scene. Like this side is from like the first scene of like Smallville. So yeah, that's an exaggerated image, I would guess. But what he and comparing to what he looks like now. So yeah. So you get it, right? Anyway, that guy, that's Tom Welling. I was like, who the fuck? Yeah. Yeah, just adding a beard, just that just looks freaky. That doesn't look like. That doesn't. It changes his eyes somehow. That's not him. That's not Tom Welling anymore. That's somebody else. Anyway, right. Enough. Boring. I don't have a tissue in here. I've now got snot on my finger. I'm gonna wipe it on my underpants because I'm a monster. Right. And that's on this. Oh my god! Stop it! Just stop touching the nose. It's leaking out the front now. Fun. Aren't humans disgusting? We're just disgusting, like so much. I kind of agree with Agent Smith. We're repulsive. We're disgusting, but yeah. I can't remember when it was, but during our holiday, during our vacation, we were all having a conversation, and basically, like somebody's mum had basically explained that it's like, wow, you know, men are disgusting, and it kind of like caused this whole conversation about like even you know, well, even in homosexual couples, but in most in most heterosexual couples, eventually you'll have the conversation. It took me like 2 months with Ellen for us to have the conversation where we basically find each other disgusting, but we don't know why we are compelled to be with each other, but we are. You know, if it wasn't for these biological urges, we would kind of not want to touch each other because, you know, think of a vagina. That thing looks horrible. You know, those things, they're nasty. They're nasty looking. You ask a woman, think of a penis. Those things they're out of horror movies. Those are gross, disgusting things. You know, it's the same with men and vaginas. Like we don't get it. We want them, but we don't get why. It's kind of a thing. It's like, but yeah, I remember having the conversation with Ellen. At least Ellen, at least one of my ex-girlfriends, about the whole thing. Not the whole. About the whole thing about like. It's like, why do people even have sex? I mean, this was fun, but ew. If you really think about it, it's this. Oh my god, it's horrible. It's awful. It's gross. It's like I kind of feel like this way about kissing. Like I've been told I'm not a bad kisser, you know, and I know some people who are very, very good kissers, and some people are definitely very good with their mouths. But just the whole idea, the actual thoughts, the mechanical process of what you're doing, you know, putting your mouths together and then swishing your tongues around and all that stuff. It's like, that's horrible sounding. Please stop talking about this. This is wrong. This surely can't be right. This feels bad and icky and gross. So what? You know? Yeah, of course there is. I mean, there's been stories of that since the ancient Greeks. So it was a genre of Roman theatre. Panafox. It's not. It's a thing. Okay. It's a thing. Huh. Never had that feeling yet. Okay. Well, just try not to think of the mechanical processes of everything, because a lot of the mechanical processes of I don't mean like biomechanics, biological mechanical processes. A lot of that stuff is disgusting. Everything is just disgusting if you think about it. It's horrible. It's icky. It's gross. It's like when people tell you there's like, right, well, there are like trillions of like microscopic organisms that live both inside you and on you all the time, even when, sometimes especially after you shower. You know, right now there are bugs that live in your eyelashes and they don't poop. Their bodies just store all of their nutrients until they die. And then you've got a dead thing full of shit on your face, near your eye. You know, it's like when people tell you that stuff, it's like, yes, it's disgusting. There's not much you can do about it, you know. My brain is too busy filled with lore building on fantasy races than our own. Well, my brain can do two things. My brain can do more than one thing. So yeah. Like my internal construct is always there, so it technically can do more than three things, which is neat. You know, internal construct, like I've got the brain chip, where basically like the inside my head, it's like, yes, it's mushy brain stuff, but like inside my head, figuratively, there's always the brain chip. It's a you know, it's a I just said it. It's a thought construct of basically a kind of like sci-fi-esque spaceship's bridge command center, with like the main me basically being in the captain's seat, and then at least two people either side of him, and they each have different jobs on their consoles, and it basically is doing stuff. And the main view is kind of like split. Sometimes it shows two images simultaneously, like what my eyes are seeing and what exactly I'm thinking of right now. So yeah. Show off? What? I'm not showing off. I'm just saying this just happens. I'm not saying this to. I'm not boasting. This is a huge inconvenience, you know, because like sometimes people will say stuff in my brain chip, and it's like, that's actually kind of really funny. And then like, and this will actually sound crazy, but they'll have like entire conversations, and they will distract me from whatever I am doing, because their conversation is me thinking. It's just me thinking through something. It's not actually a conversation that two people are having. It's a conversation that I'm having with myself about something, just because I'm thinking about it. You know? And yeah. See your construct is basically comic book panels, and that's actually kind of healthier. You know, the way mine's done is because of the way that I speak, because I've got a huge speech impediment. I have to kind of like build sentences before I say them. whereas most people just talk as if they don't have to do that. But you can tell if I'm really focusing on actually building a sentence before I say it because of the mannerisms with the hands and the looking around, because I'm building stuff and I'm subtitling it before I say it and stuff like that. So yeah, if I'm really struggling, I will actually close my eyes completely because I just can't. I have to build the entire sentence from the ground up. So yeah, watching and working out myself. What? My speech impediment is the reason I focus on comic books for my thoughts, because I can paste them out. Yeah, that makes sense. So basically, your comic books are all my subtitles. That's, yeah. And again, not boasting. It's just that's, yeah. You're at the gym. You go to a game. What? With people and stuff. I don't like going to gyms, not because I'm self-conscious or anything. It's just that I don't like paying for a not comfortable atmosphere. You know, when I work out at home, it's a lot nicer because it's my home. You got to. It sounds like you're being forced, but I get it. I'm not going to assume that. So as you may have guessed from the ticker, I filmed something for Feet Week only because I know it's coming up. I know Feet Week's coming up, and I was at a beach, so I was like, "Ooh, I'll do a couple of shots for Feet Week." So yeah, I wasn't able to do Builder Tubs Week. You reached 400 pounds, so I got to try going down. Yeah. I can't help with any of the weight loss, weight gain thing, because I get that. You know what? I get asked this a lot. It's like, oh my god, you're such a successful gainer or whatever. And it's like, I'm not really an actual gainer. I'm an accidental gainer. And they keep telling me, it's like, well, you've done so much, you've put on so much and stuff like that. It's like, not really. I've been about the same weight-ish for the past 10 years. I kind of get excited when I put on weight, but I don't actually like aim for it. You know, I don't do it on purpose. But yeah, I just have the genes. Yeah, it's kind of Panafox. I remember talking to you about this fucking years ago, where we kind of related that people put too much effort into like trying to force you into a box with your weight status. You know, if you're a gainer, just a chubby guy, or if you're a loser. You know, and I hate that because I don't care. And you were like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I kind of don't care. It's more that everybody makes a big fuss out of it that I give a shit. And yeah, I have fantasies. Like, I have a fantasy body type and shape and size and stuff like that, but it's a fantasy. It's most likely not going to happen. I'd rather people not keep poking at that fantasy because it kind of gets me my hopes up and I get sad, you know? Here I am stuck at 250 pounds, even though I eat 3 pizzas in one day. Just 3, huh? Like, people already think I'm out, want to be on my 600 life. Yeah, I get it. It's going to get much worse, Tubbs, with people slotting people into fantasy. Well, again, I have like fantasies and stuff, but it's kind of like I know like fantasies are not attainable. It's one of the reasons why I want that blueberry suit, because I know that's not attainable. But I mean, it's fun to think about, you know. But yeah. Basically, I kind of don't care what my weight does. Again, fantasies are fantasies. I kind of don't care what my weight does, but I really like food. I really love being overly satisfied. You know? You can do whatever you want with that. I don't have an eating disorder. I'm just a really hungry fat guy. What are you gonna do? What? I'll never be 600 pounds into the Wars Club. I know, that's why it's a drawing. You know? Again, random people messaging me when I'm on stream. Ugh. Do you have any like fancy weapons in your house for a Halloween orc thing? I've got Mjolnir. Like an actual scale replica of Mjolnir, and I have a lightsaber. Like a dueling lightsaber, so it can be whacked on things and stuff. But yeah, I was gonna get like a battle axe, like an actual proper battle axe. But like Gimli's battle axe, I kind of want that. It's cool. For the Halloween orc thing, I guess I could use Mjolnir. I guess, kind of. Tubbs orc swinging his weapon around for Halloween. Orc with a lightsaber. Yeah, that probably won't work. Meanest faces. I can't really pull faces. I get too distracted by doing it. Well, the best I can do is the daddy brow thing. Occasionally sticking my tongue out. Futuristic orcs aren't as fun. Oh, there's a Vor story coming out, by the way, because I made Itchy's head explode, both of them, because I was messing with him one night. It's quite fun, but I'm currently making it into a story, so that'll be a thing, because it's still too hot in my office to actually draw stuff. Isn't that weird? So there's a Vor story coming out at some stage. I need to figure out how to do that, like upload that again. I forget how to upload stories to Thorfinny. But yeah. It's actually a 2-in-1 story, so yeah. Orc in cloaked hoodie. I don't really have a cloaked hoodie. Old time orcs are better. They are. They are. They're also easier to do. Usually it's a text file, or they copy and paste it and then text it. I do both. I usually do both, but I've been told off a couple of times because I did it wrong. But I put spaces in at one stage, but it deleted my spaces. Not in the file, in the description, and it was really annoying because it just looked like one big chunk of text. It was really, they're fun stories. I'm pretty sure one of my old furry friends straight up killed 5. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Really? What was the ready for? That's what I do for Furfany. My orcs for the D&D campaign takes place in the 19th. That's cool. That's a cool era. Like an Edwardian orc. A fancy pants orc. You know, I'm just imagining an orc in a suit, and it's nice. Like a tank orc in a suit. Yeah. Yeah, it's hot in my office. I don't know what's causing it. I honestly don't know. None of my machines are that overheating. So, you know, it must just be the insulation gearing up and doing its job because it's dry. Whereas in the winter it gets damp, so maybe it doesn't do it so good. I don't know. I was tired of castles and pirate ships. Well, okay, but there are like, you know, caves. They're basically all the buildings that we currently have now, but you know, the older version of them. You know, I want to shove fantasy races into late Victorian era. Again, yeah, you're gonna have to go into the early 1900s, the early 1900s, the noughties of the 19s. You heard what I said. And also like just before that, like the 1890s and stuff. You can go full Victorian, but it's just that it's not as cool as you think it is. You know, it's very grungy. It's very grungy Victorian. Still in the past, it feels like, you know. That's why I like the Edwardian era, where basically, you know, top hats being phased out, bowler hats coming back in, you know, shirt collars becoming more manageable because sometimes they're up here. What the fuck is with that, Victoria? What are you? Why do you do this to people? Victoria loved to torture people. Edward loved to treat them. So much. So yeah. That period before World War One, yeah, Edwardian. It's the Edwardian times. Look up Edwardian stuff. It's a lot more nicer. The waistcoats are way, way nicer and definitely form-fitted around tummies because Edward had a tummy. So yeah. Fine. You know what? I'll admit it. I'm from the Edwardian era. It was way cool. It was awesome back there. It was so cool back then. Going to be drawing tons of cowboys and orcs in suits. I'm okay with that. I just really wanted to draw an orc sitting in one of the first cars. Wouldn't it squish it? I mean, they were really tiny. I don't know why the cars were that tiny. I think it was just purely because they were really small. Look up one of the first cars. It was teeny tiny. It was like a moving piano. Not a sitting piano. You know, not a flat piano. It was like a piano, like this wall. That's how big it was. You know, it's kind of tiny. It's even shorter than this. You get what I mean. Since in my timeline you're going to be the first person who owns a Ford car. I like walking, but I mean it's not really me, is it? So yeah. How do you spell that timeline name? What? Oh, do you mean the period? The Edwardian period. The Edwardian. Edward Ian. I don't like driving. Although it was a lot easier back then, Panafox. It was like apparently a lot easier back then. I have to say apparently because, you know, people to cover my tracks as a time traveler. But yeah, you basically had like only a couple of gears, and one of them it was also the brake. You also had the brake on the stick, and then just one pedal, and that was your go. It was kind of like driving a bumper car. It's kind of like driving a bumper car, only you had a stick. But yeah, it was a lot simpler. I would be totally okay with that. Very, very hard to kill people in one of those cars. Because the very first cars were just like, yes, they were death traps, but only to the people who drove them over the speed limit, which was still pretty low. And I mean, when I say speed limit, I meant how fast the car can go, not what it was legal to drive. So yeah, it's a thing. Well, Itchy's a small animal from familiar, so he can drive it. That's actually funny because in the third verse, 5 definitely is way too big now. 5 has a trike motorcycle, and he couldn't reach the handlebars anymore. And basically, Itchy, well, Baz, Itchy's Chihuahua form, just sits on his belly, and he just does the pedals, and basically Itchy does the steering and the braking. So yeah, I think he would straight up just crush the car at the moment. But yeah, you made Itchy into a ferret. Okay. Make him a crazy rabbit squirrel. Is that over the hedge? I think that's over the hedge. But yeah. So sometimes Itchy can get really excited, and he basically can become the crazy rabbit squirrel from Over the Hedge. It's really funny. Rabbit squirrel, yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, he's a badger. He's got 2 personas, and I have drawn him in his original persona, which was a sloth, which is the one he picked. But I picked Honey Badger, but he liked the European badger. Stop it! Stop trying. I can feel you trying. Yeah, I did nothing. You did nothing. Fuck off. My nose is trying to empty into the back of my throat. I can feel it trying to happen, but it's not actually happening, but it's making it itch. Yeah, it's gross. Yeah, but I've also drawn him as a pig. And as an alligator one time. So yeah. Hammy from Over the Hedge. Basically, isn't he called Hammy? I know I'm a bore, but I really want to have a gentleman armadillo sona. Where's with you? That sounds really complicated. That sounds really challenging. To try to design the suit that an armadillo could wear. I mean, the shell could just be by its. Is the shell independent, or does it go over part of the suit? You know, how does the hat fit on the head? What is with shoes even? What the? Why do you do this? Why do you do this? Why do you pick one of the most complicated animals to try to dress? You know. It is Hammy. Okay. You see the problem. I see the problem. I see the problem with picking these things. I get sometimes you can't pick because it just feels so right. Like trying to adapt clothing for an anatomically correct, but slightly anthropomorphic alligator was hard enough. But yeah, it's why do you want to add more scales and more shell parts and stuff like that? It's like I want to be an ammonite. It's like how do you? I want to be an anthropomorphic ammonite. Somebody actually sent this to me. They were wanting to be an anthropomorphic horseshoe crab. And I was like, fuck off. Fuck off with that shit right now. You know? I gave them several options. It was very much like the spider one that I did. But they didn't want it anyway. I think they went with a you said fox right now. I was like, yeah, fox. Like, why did you even ask if you were going to just change your mind in the first place? You're such a fuck you. Try a two-tailed mythical fox. That's easy. They're easy to make as people. You know, to anthropomorphize those. That's easy. People do it all the time. People have been doing that for fucking thousands of years. I'm saying fuck a lot. I'm sorry. It's either armadillo or a giant turtle, Daddy. I'm okay with the turtle. I'm okay with the turtle because you basically have Ninja Turtles as your base, and you just age that up. There you go. But how would you make that like chubby? Because the dad bod thing. Like, how do you give a turtle a belly? Because of the shell. Huh. Oh, did anyone see that animation? Did anyone see that animation I posted? I know that Panda Fox did because he said that's good animation. I think that was word for word what he said. I love that. That's so good. I am weirdly obsessed with that over the moment. It's kind of like I've got it on a panel on my computer. You know, it's like the Uruguay. That's just an old dude. That I wouldn't consider him to be a daddy. He doesn't have a dad personality. You know, it just seems like some old crazy man. It's an old hippie. It's not a dad. You know. Oh, that's true. Oh my God, Blastoise. Oh yeah, no, you're right. What? How did I not think of Blastoise? What's wrong with me? I must be tired. I'm definitely sick again or something. How can I not think of Blastoise? I mean, I am a Blastoise. It's a thing. How did I not think of that? Maybe I'm just desensitized to it because I see it all the time. Yeah, if I was a Pokemon, I don't think Bosco knows this. If I was a Pokemon, I would be a Blastoise because Blastoise. But yeah, Wesley West, you have come in when I was leaving. I'm just wrapping up now. Yeah, sorry, only Gen 1. I do not give a shit about any of the other generations. I'm sorry. I mean, Gen 1 has some real shit ones as well, but they do get progressively worse. I bought a pack of Pokemon. Well, I got a pack of Pokemon cards in my Happy Meal when I had my birthday Happy Meal, and I got a pack of Pokemon cards as the toy, and I'm okay with this. I think it's a bit of a lame toy if you're a kid that isn't into Pokemon, but whatever. But it's the new pack of new Pokemon, and oh my god, do they look shit? They just look terrible. I'm out. I'm so out on Gen 1. Before my time. No, it wasn't. I'm not buying it. Yeah, see, I don't know what that is. Gengar. Yeah. Well, not really. That's Ditto. Your boyfriend is a Gengar. I'm just trying to remember. This is the. It's a ghost Pokemon, isn't it? Ghastly Haunter Gang. Is it a Ghastly Haunter Gengar? It's that weird purple thing. That seems so genetic. Generic. It just seems really generic. That design. Sorry, I'm still going with Blastoise. I'm Blastoise. I'm totally a Blastoise. So yeah. I win. Blastoise isn't my favorite Pokemon, by the way. My favorite Pokemon is Growlithe and Arcanine. So yeah. In that trio Evo. Yeah, I was checking. My first Pokemon game was Gen 6. Roscoe, I hate you. I don't know why, but I hate that sentence. I don't hate you, I hate that sentence. That's a bad sentence to say. And I'm proud of my age, so I don't know why it hurts, but that sentence hurts for some reason. Blastoise is also generic. I'm sorry. Okay. Try to draw a Blastoise without picking your pencil or pen off of the paper. Okay, now try drawing a Gengar that way. Yeah. You do it in your head. Fuck you with your generic bullshit. I'm sorry, but it's a absolutely giant tank of a turtle with literally tank cannon like on either side of its shoulders. And it's badass. I mean, you can sort off with your generic bullshit. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. Whereas Gengar is a smudge. So it's fine. It's not fine. You're wrong. You're so clearly wrong. I win. The only starter that isn't generic is Venusaur. It's okay. Because no one picks him. I usually do. Because the dragon isn't that interesting to me. I don't know why. I was born in the year 2000. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. Were you? I don't think you were. I mean, you would know better, I guess. I can do Gengar easily. Well, yeah, that's my point. Damn, I'm older than you. Yeah, older than both of you. Blastoise is just a round turtle with guns on his shoulders. I'm sorry. It's a gigantic round turtle with guns on his shoulders. And he's just so... He's the daddy. He's the best. I'm sorry. Just, I'm doing great, by the way. I'm sorry. Are you being sassy? Are you giving me sass? Wesley West. WW. Yeah. I did mention you when you came in. Kanshuf. That's no, but we're talking about their appearance. Again, Gengar is a smudge, whereas Blastoise has a unique giant turtle appearance. So yeah, I don't give a shit about their abilities and who would win. I'm saying that basically, like, yeah. Also, Blastoise would probably still win. Blastoise has the best faces. He does. Especially just that one. I'll post it on Discord. No one say anything for a sec. I'll post it on Discord because it's in my favorites. I'll put it in the lobby because I honestly don't give a shit. Favorites. Oh look, we're in the favorites. I'm in the favorites. But there it is. Any excuse to post that GIF is just like, yeah. Stupid fire salamander thing tried to punch a fuck off tank, a water tank. It's just, yeah. It's crazy. It's just so crazy. Any excuse to post that. Any excuse. It's so good. Anyway, I know, right? I know. Everyone's like, oh yeah, Charizard's like the best. It's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. That Charizard gave its 100% best shot, full strength, at that Blastoise, and he just took it like it wasn't even shit. Blastoise would get his ass beaten by one Razor Leaf. Who cares? No one picks him. If no one picks it, then who's going to do it? I mean, who's going to do it? Who's going to do the Razor Leaf? Huh? No one gives a shit about Bulbasaur. Sorry. Toodles Bulbasaur. Is that a bug on my leg? Oh, it's one of those really strong beetle things. Get out of my hair. Thank you. Which makes him better. I don't care. Blastoise is just a water Bowser. I'm sorry. I mean, I see it, but I do think he's unique enough to basically be his own character. When he's blue, that's not the only thing. He doesn't have hair. I'm trying to think of other reasons. He's got giant jets. There we go. Bowser doesn't have giant jet. Which makes him better, which is fine. Yeah. Poliwrath for the win. What? So you were giving me sass. Why? Is that Leafeon? I don't know what that is. That's not Gen 1. Yeah, go away. I mean, if he was green, he would die. I'm lost. Yeah, Blastoise would be my choice. Well, okay. You're nice again. I like you. That is G1. Leafeon. I have not seen it. I don't know what a Leafeon is. I'm sorry. I, before my 30th birthday, I said I was going to play all through all of the Leaf Green and Fire Red, and I did, and there was no Leafeon. You are wrong. Those words I don't understand, and therefore makes me angry. But again, nobody's going to get that reference. Nobody ever gets that reference. It's a really funny reference as well. Ugh. Right, guys. So yeah, I'm just going to talk about the videos that I did film. I did film a belly play-ish video. Basically, Damon sunscreen my tummy again. On the beach. And there's a couple of shots of like low angle shots of my belly on the beach, shirtless. And also I did film a feet week video. I did not have time to film the builder tubs one and the leather rubber one. I forgot what we decided for that. And I didn't film any of the funnel one. So yeah. So I'm going to need ideas for those ones. But apart from that, I think actually, yeah, I'm gonna need ideas for all of them. I completely forgot about what we had already decided. I'm sorry. I don't think we had a solid plan for all of them. Anyway, we did have something, but I can't remember what it was. But it wasn't like a solid plan. Also, remember, it's Halloween coming up, so as well as pumpkin designs for the pumpkin belly video and for what I'm going to carve out into my pumpkin, basically, I will take your design for the belly one and I will simplify it because drawing on my tummy upside down and reverted in a mirror is actually really, really difficult. So I try to do it as accurate as I can with those designs that I'm given, but it won't come out exactly because it just never does. But for my pumpkin, I usually just put my spin on that design, or I just do my design completely because nobody ever gives me a fucking design for that one. So yeah, if you've got designs, you know what to do. You just do a quick outline of a pumpkin and then do your design on the outline of the pumpkin. Take a picture of it, put it on Discord, and I will look into it and I'll pick the best one before I film the actual Halloween video. And yeah, so there's that. I do want to know what we're doing for like a Halloween video, or if we're doing a party, and what to do for the orc video as well. So yeah, ideas welcome. Please, it's your homework. You don't have to do it, but I appreciate if you do. Otherwise, you're horrible people. And yeah, I'll see you guys sometime in the near future. Do not know if I'll be streaming tomorrow night. But if I'm totally 100% better, then I will. But I will be streaming somewhere at some like fairly soonish anyway. I probably will come back tomorrow for the yeah. So yeah. Also, Blastoise wins, and everybody who says otherwise is just plain wrong and is stupid. So, guys, belly rubs. Oh, just a real quick thing. Belly was feeling huge. I have no idea what it was, but for the first couple of days, belly salute. For the first couple of days of my holiday, when I was feeling okay, basically, like, clothes weren't fitting right. I was breaking chairs all the time. I broke the bed. I needed to actually use the seatbelt extender again for the first time forever. And yeah. And then I got sick, and all of that good energy vibes just fucked off. So yeah, and also my scale doesn't work because we don't actually have an even surface in our house, so that sucks. Still looks huge. It doesn't feel any different besides being slightly stronger from all of the coughing and stuff. Fine, but only because you asked nicely, Panda Fox. See, if you asked nicely, then yeah. A bit hard to tell. But there is. I don't know. It might look a bit bigger. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get on like a scale at like the store or something. You know, one of those big stand-up ones. But also, I noticed that like when I put my arms down as well, like it also is slightly uncomfortable because I feel like I'm squishing my sides a little bit with my elbows. I don't know. Definitely looks bigger. Neat. I don't know. After it being the same size for fucking ever, it just feels different. I like it when it changes. Usually, yeah. That is my ultimate fantasy, you know, to be a spherical Santa. I'm okay with that. Again, it's not like a goal that I'm striving towards that it will definitely happen because I'm not a gainer intentionally. But yeah. Before I die, I would like to be somewhat spherically, like, based, shape-wise. Anyway, weird thing to end on, but yeah. Also, Blastoise is still the best. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow, maybe, probably. Toodles.